Welcome to the Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on your Fastlane pay-per-view results from March the 5th, 2017. Fastlane kickoff show, pre-show opened up with Renee Young, Booker T, and Hot 97's Peter Rosenberg, live from Milwaukee. And they hyped the show, and Renee sends up to Charlie Caruso in the social media lounge. Charlie says Tom Phillips has passed on social media lounge duties to her. Charlie plugs the WWE Fastlane hashtag. She'll be joined by Samoa Joe later on for questions. Renee then plugs the WWE Network, and Rosenberg says Fastlane will be special. Booker hypes WrestleMania 33. Renee leads us to a promo for Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman. Booker predicts Reigns will win, and Renee agrees. We go backstage to Noam Dar and Alicia Fox. Brian Kendrick walks up and says Dar has a golden opportunity tonight because he gets it to team with a former champion. Kendrick hopes Dar doesn't make the same mistake Akira Tozawa made when he turned down Kendrick's offer to learn under him. Kendrick then says they will make him pay tonight. Dar says he will do anything to win a match for the beautiful Alicia Fox. Kendrick hopes Alicia doesn't melt down out there. She gets upset, but Dar calms her down and says they will all go out and win together, then come back and celebrate together. Kendrick says he doesn't do crazy and walks off. Renee hypes the Raw Tag Team title match. Cesaro and Sheamus join the panel. Sheamus says that they should be defending tonight because they were robbed several times. Cesaro gets a pop from the crowd and goes on a rant about how fans would rather see them in the ring, not talking on the panel. Everyone on the panel predicts the champions will retain tonight. We take another break and come back to Mick Foley in the back. He's on the phone with Stephanie McMahon. Her flight is delayed, but Foley tells her not to worry. Stephanie goes on about how big tonight is. Jinder Mahal walks in and Foley puts Stephanie on hold. Jinder reveals that he and Rusev are no longer a tag team. Jinder says that the potential has been ruined by Rusev's attitude. Rusev comes in with his new haircut and Lana. Jinder wants a chance to prove himself in singles competition. Rusev accuses Jinder of stealing his ideas because he was coming to ask Foley for the same. And Foley is sending them both to the ring, and they will also send out some suitable competition. He jokes about best of 7 series between the two. Foley walks off and leaves Stephanie hanging. Renee then leads us to a quick video on the feud between Samoa Joe and Sami Zayn. The panel then discusses the match. We get more hype for the show, and we see Joe getting ready for his interview with Charlie. We take a break and come back to Charlie and Joe in the social media lounge. Joe says Triple H brought him in to make an impact, and that's what he did in taking out Seth Rollins. Joe was asked how he plans on destroying Sami tonight. Joe says that he's done it once and he'll do it again. He's going to keep punishing Sami until he breaks him. Joe talks about how disrespectful he can get and says Sami is going to find out tonight. Joe was asked his plan for WrestleMania 33. Joe says whatever he does at WrestleMania, his presence will be felt full force and without reproach. Joe says his actual plan for WrestleMania will be revealed soon enough. Charlie wraps the interview and sends us back to Renee. Renee reveals that a look at Seth Rollins' rehab will be shown on Raw tomorrow night. We get more discussion and a promo for tonight's Raw Women's title match. Peter goes on with Charlotte, but Renee and Booker pick Bayley to retain. Back to another break. Rich Swann and Akira Tozawa versus Brian Kendrick and Noam Dar on the pre-show. We go to Austin Aries, Michael Cole, Slaw, and Corey Graves on commentary. Aries says we're starting off with the main event. He leads us to the video package on his debut in the Cruiserweight division. Rich Swann made his way out first. His partner Akira Tozawa was out next. Brian Kendrick was out first for his team. Noam Dar was out last with Alicia Fox. Kendrick started off with Tozawa as fans are still fighting their seats. Kendrick immediately tagged Dar in. Tozawa took control, but Dar cut him off. Kendrick comes in for a double team attempt, but Swann made a save. They send their opponents out and go for a double dive, but Alicia gets in the way, and Swann and Tozawa stop in the ring. We go to a break. Back from the break, Kendrick is in control of Tozawa. Kendrick with a 2 count. More back and forth between the two teams. Swan and Dar go at it. Swan drops Dar with a big kick. Tozawa gets the tag, as does Kendrick. Tozawa nails Kendrick with a kick. Kendrick rolls Tozawa up for a 2 count. Tozawa comes back and hits the senton for a 2 count. Tozawa goes for the German suplex, but Kendrick tags in Dar. Tozawa then sends Dar to the floor. Swan tags in and Kendrick gets dumped to the floor. Swan and Tozawa run the ropes and take out their opponents on the floor. Tozawa with a Shining Wizard on Kendrick. Dar with a knee to Tozawa. Swan with a knee to Dar's head. Fox cheers Dar on. Swan goes to the top and lands on his feet. Dar ends up with a 2 count on Swan. Swan kicks Dar in the mouth. Kendrick runs in and takes a kick as well. Tozawa with a snap German suplex on Kendrick. Swan goes up top and hits a Phoenix Splash for the win. After the match, we go to replays and come back to Swan celebrating with Tozawa. We go back to the panel. They plug the WWE Network in tonight's show to wrap up the kickoff. Pre-show. Road to WrestleMania 33 continues as the 2017 Fastlane pay-per-view kicks off with a video package. Live from Milwaukee with Michael Coleslaw, Corey Graves, and Byron Saxton. Match number 1, Samoa Joe versus Sami Zayn. We go right to the ring. Out comes Sami Zayn. We get a look at what led to this match. Samoa was out next. Sami dodges strikes to start. The Olay chant starts from the crowd as they stare each other down. Joe connects with a kick. Sami takes a breather in the corner. They lock up, and Sami goes behind and applies a headlock. Joe gets out and drops Sami with a kick. Joe with more kicks now. More back and forth, and Sami takes Joe down with a head scissors. Sami fights Joe in the corner. Referee separates them. Sami goes right back to work. Joe drops Sami with a right hand. Joe with more rights, and that knocks Sami down. Joe goes on and drops Sami with an enziguri. Sami is slow to get up. Joe continues to beat down Sami around as the referees check on him. Sami fights back, but Joe slams him on his front. Joe with a submission now. Joe turns it around into a 1 count. Joe keeps control of Sami. Sami gets fired up and fights back until Joe takes his knee out. Joe covers for a 2 count. Sami makes another comeback and hits a clothesline that stops Joe. Sami looks to go for the Blue Thunder Bomb, but Joe fights out of it. Sami nails the Blue Thunder Bomb for a 2 count. More back and forth. Joe hits an inverted atomic drop and a big boot. Joe with a senton and a 2 count. Joe keeps control and hits a power slam for another pin attempt. Sami with a comeback. Sami goes to the top, but Joe cuts him off. Sami fights off Joe as he looks to go for a muscle buster, but Joe nails an enziguri and stuns Sami while he's on the top. Joe climbs up for a superplex, but Sami fights him off. Sami unloads with forearms to the back. Sami goes for the sunset flip powerbomb, but Joe hangs on. Sami drops Joe face first into the turnbuckle. Sami goes for a haluva kick, but Joe blocked it and slams him. Joe applies a coquina clutch for the win, and Sami takes a nap. After the match, Joe says, "I told you so," to Sami and stands tall as we go to replays. Joe walks up the ramp and stops to look back at Sami, recovering in the ring. Back from a break, Charlotte Caruso is backstage with Raw Women's Champion Bayley. She admits that she's nervous and says Charlotte does have the advantage going into their match tonight. She also believes Charlotte will bring Dana Brooke to ringside. Bayley says, as usual, the odds are stacked against her, but she's up for the challenge. Bayley says if Charlotte is as good as says she is, she will leave Dana in the locker room so they can find out who the better woman is. Nia Jax appears. She says Bayley has so much to worry about tonight. Nia just wants to let Bayley know that she's going to rip her friend to shreds tonight. If Charlotte somehow doesn't take the title from Bayley tonight, Nia will. She walks off. Wild Tag Team title match, Enzo Amore and Big Cass versus Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. Back to the ring, out comes Enzo Amore and Big Cass with microphones. And they do the crowd's doing a "How you doing" chant, starting up before Enzo even begins his introduction. Raw Tag Team Champions Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson are out next. Cass starts off with Anderson and takes control. Cass works over Anderson in the corner. Enzo tags in for a double team as Cass launches him into Anderson. Gallows comes in, but it gets dumped to the floor. Cass tosses Enzo over the top onto their opponents outside. Enzo gets another "How you doing" chant going. Enzo brings Anderson back in the ring. Anderson runs into an elbow. Enzo with a big right hand next. Gallows misses a clothesline on Enzo, allowing Anderson to drop him. Anderson with a big knee. Anderson mounts Enzo with rights before attacking in Gallows. Gallows drops Enzo with a big blow. Gallows with another big shot to Enzo before standing tall. Gallows keeps Enzo grounded. Anderson tags back in for more double teaming. Anderson with more offense and a pin attempt. Anderson keeps Enzo down with a chin lock. Enzo tries for a tag, but Anderson pulls him away from Big Cass. Enzo manages to sidestep and send Anderson to the floor. Anderson still manages to grab his leg and stop a tag. Enzo drops Anderson with an enziguri on the floor. Gallows ends up running into the ring post as Enzo dodges him. Enzo then goes back for a tag, but Anderson knocks him out of midair. Anderson gets a 2 count. Anderson then beats Enzo around the ring as the fans try to rally for Enzo. Gallows tags back in with a big shot in the corner. Enzo sidesteps the corner attack and rolls out of the way. When Gallows tries to drop an elbow, Anderson tags back in, but Enzo moves out of the way when he leaps into the corner. Cass finally gets the tag. He runs over Anderson a few times and then nails a big fallaway slam. Cass with a running splash on Anderson and another fallaway slam. Cass with another splash and a side slam. Cass drops the Empire elbow and stands tall for a pop. Cass knocks Gallows off the apron for a 2 count. He gets hung up on the top rope and Anderson rolls him up for a 2 count. Cass with a big boot on Anderson. Enzo tags in and goes up top for the big double team, but Gallows breaks the pin by pulling Enzo out. Cass goes out and beats on Gallows. Gallows sends him into the apron and then to the barrier. Enzo leaps off the apron and sends Gallows to the floor. Enzo comes back in, but Anderson kicks him in the face for the pin while Enzo had his foot on the bottom rope. Referee didn't see it, so dirty pin. After the bell, Anderson and Gallows immediately retreat up the ramp to get their titles. Cass is happy. We go to replays and we see how Enzo's foot was on the bottom rope, but Gallows shoved it off. Anderson and Gallows taunt Enzo and Big Cass from the stage as we go to another break. Mick Foley backstage on the phone with Stephanie McMahon again. She's watching from her phone as her plane is still stuck on the tarmac. Stephanie needs Foley to make sure everything goes off according to plan. Stephanie says she won't be making it tonight. Foley tells her to relax, but she says she's going to remain on the phone with him all night. Stephanie has heard ragging on the pilots. She wants to talk about Samoa Joe and tells Foley to take her off speakerphone. He brings up Joe being kept away from the ringside later tonight, but it sounds like Stephanie hangs up on him. Coleslaw leads us to a video package for the next match, which is Sasha Banks versus Nia Jax. We go to the ring. Out comes Nia Jax as we get a look at some of the international announcers at ringside. Sasha Banks was out next. Bell rings and they immediately go at it. Nia takes control early on and dominates. Sasha makes a comeback, but Nia drops her and talks some trash before covering her for a 2 count. Nia keeps control and launches Sasha across the ring. Nia with more offense and another pin attempt. Nia talks some more trash before sending Sasha into the corner. Sasha blocks Nia, but gets her face smashed into the turnbuckle. Nia with a torture rack. Nia does squats with Sasha and keeps the hold locked. Sasha turns the hold into a guillotine, but Nia counters. Sasha goes for the guillotine again, but Nia overpowers her. Sasha ends up on Nia's back with a sleeper hold applied. Nia slams her into the mat. Nia runs into a strike. Sasha with a knee and boots. Sasha keeps control and drops Nia with a DDT into the bank statement. But Nia powers up, and Sasha fights off of her shoulders. Sasha charges, but Nia floors her. Nia drops a big leg drop to Sasha's back. Nia talks trash and ragdolls Sasha by her hair. Nia scoops Sasha onto her shoulders, but Sasha slides out and rolls her up with a bridge for the pin in the wind. Sasha Banks winner. After the bell, Sasha rolls to the floor as Nia is left looking shocked. They stare at each other as we go to replays. We come back to Sasha playing to the crowd while an angry Nia looks on. Back from the break, the announcers lead us to the pre-show segment with Jinder Mahal and Rusev, who are no longer teaming together. We go to the ring. Out first comes Jinder Mahal. Rusev is out next with Lana. They argue in the ring about who's wrestling the first match. They start brawling. Rusev sends Jinder to the floor. Jinder sends Rusev into the ring post. Jinder knocks Rusev over the barrier and goes back in the ring. Out comes Cesaro. So we get Cesaro versus Jinder Mahal for first of their matches. Jinder stands tall in the ring as Cesaro makes his way out. Sheamus was out next. So Cesaro hits the ring as Sheamus waits on the stage. Back and forth start. Jinder with some offense, but Cesaro dropped him for a 1 count. Cesaro with a double stomp to the chest. Cesaro with a gut wrench. And more offense until he sells a back injury. Cesaro goes for the big suplex from the apron, but can't get it. Jinder nails Cesaro and turns it around. Mahal with a drop kick to the back. Jinder takes control and drops knees on Cesaro. Jinder with more offensive pin attempts as we see the WrestleMania 33 banner hanging. Jinder with a knee before whipping Cesaro into the corner. Cesaro manages to hit the suplex finally. Cesaro with a running uppercut in the corner. Cesaro hits a Swiss 1-9 and goes to the top. Cesaro nails crossbody for 2 count. Jinder avoids the Cesaro swing and drops Cesaro with a super kick. Rusev recovers at ringside and Jinder is distracted, allowing Cesaro to hit the big uppercut for the win. After the match, Cesaro makes his exit. Rusev enters the ring and sends Jinder into the ring post. Rusev unloads on Jinder in the corner. Rusev yells and floors Jinder with a big kick. The music hits and out comes Rusev's opponent, Big Show. Big Show versus Rusev. Big Show hits the ring and boots Rusev. Fans chant USA as Show works Rusev around the ring. Big Show takes it to the corner and drops Rusev with a big chop. Rusev rolls to the floor for a breather. Rusev tries to walk away, but Show comes from behind and shoves him into the barrier. They come back in the ring. Rusev fights, but Show drops him. Show stands on Rusev and drops him with a headbutt. Rusev tries to crawl out of the ring, but Show whips him in the corner, hits a splash. Show keeps offense going and talks a bit of trash. Rusev comes back swinging. Rusev tries to knock Show off his feet. Rusev dazes Show, but Show comes right back with a clothesline. Show with another corner splash. Show runs the ropes, but Rusev takes his knee out. Show clutches his knee out. Rusev keeps Show down with a kick. Rusev only gets a 2 count, then drops an elbow on the knee and keeps focusing on the knee. Show breaks it with a shot to the face. Show catches Rusev with a big side slam for a close 2 count. Show ends up going for the choke slam, but Rusev avoids it. Goes back to the knee. Rusev with a big kick to the face to take Show down. Rusev with another big kick to the head for a 2 count. Rusev is frustrated, but ready to put Show away now. He stomps on the back and goes for the accolade, but Show shoves him out of the ring. Rusev comes right back in at him, but Show nails a choke slam. Show drops his straps and hits another choke slam. Fans want one more choke slam, and Show delivers. Show drags Rusev to the corner, sits him up to where his head is resting on the bottom turnbuckle. Show kisses his fist and connects with a knockout punch while Rusev is down. Show drags Rusev out of the corner and covers him for the win. After the match, Show stands tall as his music hits and the referee checks on Rusev. Show makes his way to the back as we go to commercial. Charlie Caruso backstage with Universal Champion Kevin Owens. He goes on about how Big Bill Goldberg has only beat one man in the past 5 years, while Owens has defeated everyone put in front of him. Owens says he's the best, and this will be the Kevin Owens show for as long as he wants it to be. Cruiserweight title match is up next. Jack Gallagher versus Neville. Austin Aries joins Corey Graves and Coleslaw for commentary. Aries leads us to a video package again. Gallagher made his way out as JoJo made the introductions. Cruiserweight champion Neville was out next. We get a look at more international announce teams as Neville made his way out. The bell rings and we get back and forth action to start. Gallagher with some unorthodox offense. Neville drops him with a shoulder. Gallagher ends up sending Neville to the floor. Neville pulled Gallagher to the floor and they brawled. Neville sent Gallagher into the barrier. Neville brought it back in and goes up top. Neville with a missile drop kick for a 2 count. Neville stands tall and gets the booze. Neville sends Gallagher into the corner and stomps away. Neville puts the boots to Gallagher and the referee warns him. Gallagher then comes back with the uppercut and Neville knees him and nails a suplex. Neville then takes Gallagher out of the corner for another pin attempt. Neville keeps Gallagher grounded now as Gallagher fights up and out with forearms. Gallagher ducked a shot and nailed the 2 drop kicks. Neville rolled to the floor to escape, but Gallagher run the ropes and fly through the second rope. Gallagher brings it back into the ring, but Neville hits him. Gallagher then takes Neville to the top for a big back superplex. Gallagher covers for a close 2 count. Neville gets Gallagher hung up over the top rope. Neville drops Gallagher on his face. Neville goes for a German suplex, but Gallagher rolls him up for a 2 count. Neville then drops Gallagher on his head with a German suplex of his own. Neville goes to the middle rope and hits a Phoenix Splash, but Gallagher kicks out just in time. Neville, then nails Gallagher while he's on his knees, but Gallagher keeps getting up. Neville with a shot to the jaw and then a kick to the gut. Gallagher sidesteps and connects with a headbutt. Neville comes back with a kick to the face. Gallagher drops him with another big headbutt. Gallagher covers for another close 2 count. Neville avoids a running kick in the corner. And then Neville kicks Gallagher to the apron. Fan chant, this is awesome. Now, Neville brings Gallagher up for a superplex, but Gallagher sends Neville back to the mat. Neville gets back to his feet. Gallagher has Neville on the top again. Gallagher with another big headbutt. Neville is out cold on the top now. Gallagher climbs up, but Neville sends him to the mat. Playing possum, Neville stands up and hits Red Arrow for the win. After the match, Neville stood tall and raises the title. As we go to replays, Neville makes his exit as Gallagher sits at ringside with his head down. We go to another break. Charlie is backstage with a surprise guest, Paul Heyman. Heyman says that they've never met, so he introduces himself and asks if Brock Lesnar is nearby. Heyman says Lesnar has the right to be here tonight, but he's not saying. Heyman brings up tonight's main event, how Goldberg is facing his client at WrestleMania 33. Heyman says the ultimate winner of tonight's Universal title match is his client. We go to the ring. Out comes New Day for their match. Kofi, Big E, and Xavier Woods are out with their ice cream cart. Woods talks about how fans made Bootio cereal possible when all they had was a dream and a t-shirt. Kofi says now they stand before everyone with another t-shirt and another dream. New Day ice cream. Kofi says the WWE Universe has a chance to have their voices heard again. Woods says that's why they have brought this New Day bike cart. He says they're riding the bike all the way down the road to being our host at WrestleMania. Their music hits as Big E hugs the ice cream cart. We go back to the announcers. They lead us to a promo for Reigns versus Strowman, which is up next. Back to the ring, Roman makes his way out to a loud mixed reaction. Reigns waits for a second, but out comes Braun Strowman. The bell rings and they size each other up. The crowd seems fired up for this one. They're slow to really get going, but Braun knocks Reigns in the mouth to knock him off the apron early on. Braun then laughs at Reigns and Reigns looks back in the ring. Reigns comes back in and rocks Braun with strikes. Reigns goes for a Samoan drop, but Braun stops it. Reigns with a boot to the face and more big rights. Reigns then clotheslines Braun over the top, but he lands on his feet. Reigns ends up on the floor and goes for a clothesline off the steel steps, but Braun won't go down. Braun charges, but Reigns sidesteps and Braun goes into the steps himself. Reigns fights back, but Braun rolls him back in. Reigns with a knee to the face as Braun comes back in. Reigns works Braun over in the corner now. Reigns mounts Braun with rights in the corner as the fans count along. Braun with a huge spine buster out of the corner. Braun flattens Reigns in the corner and tosses him across the ring. Braun stands tall for a pop. Braun keeps control and keeps Reigns grounded with a vice grip. Reigns powers up and goes for the Samoan drop, but he can't get it. Braun hits the Samoan drop of his own. Braun smiles before getting to his feet. Braun with a splash for another 2 count. Braun keeps Reigns grounded. Braun unloads with forearms to the chest and keeps Reigns down. Braun then tries to put Reigns to sleep. Reigns gets out of a chin lock and nails right to the gut. And then Braun goes right back to the ribs. Reigns with a clothesline, but Braun won't go down. Reigns with another clothesline. Reigns ducks a clothesline, but gets caught and slammed on his face. Braun with a 2 count. Braun sends Reigns back out and follows. Reigns fights back, but Braun clubs him to the floor in front of the announcers. Braun then takes apart the Spanish announce table for a pop. Braun then scoops Reigns for a power slam through the table, but Reigns counters and sends him into the ring post. Reigns goes for a drive-by, but Braun blocks it and sends him back into the post. They bring it back in the ring, and Braun goes for a spear in the corner, but Reigns moves and Braun hit the ring post. Reigns then unloads on Braun in the corner. Reigns with a clothesline in the corner and more big shots in the corner. Braun is dazed. Reigns then runs the rope, but Braun grabs it for a chokeslam. Reigns blocks it and nails a Samoan drop for a 2 count. Both superstars are down. Reigns is up first. Reigns calls for a Superman punch, but Braun sends him into the turnbuckle. Braun drops Reigns with a big blow to the chest. Braun with a big slam on Reigns' face for another 2 count. Braun then goes for a running big boot in the corner, but Reigns moves and Braun gets hung up. Falling over to the floor, Braun sells a knee injury as the referee count. Reigns rolls out and hits the drive-by. Braun is still standing. Reigns goes for a spear, but Braun scoops him and nails the power slam through the announce table. Fan chant, holy crap. Now, as Braun rolls Reigns back inside and continues to sell the knee injury, Reigns nails a spear as Braun comes in. Reigns with a 2 count. Reigns can't believe it. More back and forth as Braun smacks his head on the turnbuckle as Reigns moves. Reigns then nails a Superman punch, but Braun is still standing. Reigns with another Superman punch, knocking Braun onto the second rope. Reigns runs the ropes and ducks forearm, but Braun floors him. Braun then climbs to the top rope while Reigns is in the middle of the ring. Braun leaps out for a huge splash, but Reigns rolls out of the way. Reigns nails a spear for the win. After the match, we get replays as both recover. Reigns gets to his knees in the ring while Braun is down on the outside. Reigns gets up as we see the WrestleMania 33 banner in the background. Reigns then climbs the corner and poses to a mixed reaction. Mick Foley catches up with Samoa Joe backstage. Foley talks about how Stephanie McMahon and Kevin Owens wouldn't want Joe to get involved in tonight's main event because it would taint the win. Foley also doesn't want Joe interfering. He hopes this is the last time he sees Joe's face tonight, but if he's not, there will be hell to pay. Joe stares at Foley, but walks off as Foley tells him to have a nice day. We get a promo for tonight's Raw Women's title match. And that match is up next. Charlotte versus Bayley. Back to the ring. Out comes Charlotte with Dana Brooke first. Charlotte poses and tells Dana to get off her stage. Dana heads to the back and Charlotte walks to the ring by herself. Raw Women's Champion Bayley was out next. Former ring introductions from JoJo. Charlotte struts and woos as after the bell sounds. They lock up and Charlotte takes it to the ropes. They break and Charlotte smiles. They lock up and Charlotte takes Bayley down for a 1 count. More back and forth and several counters early on. Bayley counters and slams Charlotte's head into the turnbuckle. Bayley drops Charlotte on the apron and she falls to the floor. Bayley with a hurricane runner from the apron. Bayley brings it back in and goes up top. Bayley with a crossbody for a 2 count. Charlotte avoids Bayley's belly suplex and escapes to the floor for a breather as the referees count. Bayley chases Charlotte, but gets dropped on the floor. Charlotte poses and plays to the crowd. Charlotte brings it back in the ring and mounts Bayley on the mat. Charlotte talks trash as she takes control and boots Bayley in the face. Charlotte points at the WrestleMania 33 sign and gets booed. Charlotte ragdolls Bayley, tells her she's just a fan. Charlotte runs into an elbow. Bayley comes off the rope with a deep arm drag. Charlotte comes back and drops Bayley on the back of her head. Charlotte drops knees and covers for a 2 count. Charlotte tosses Bayley around with the head scissors. Charlotte keeps control and does another flare strut. Charlotte with a knee to the back of the neck for a 2 count. Charlotte works Bayley around and talks trash to her about Sasha Banks. Bayley fights back, but Charlotte turns it around again and hits a neck breaker. Then another boot. Charlotte with another pin attempt. Charlotte goes to the floor and hits an elbow to Bayley on the apron. Charlotte talks some more trash to fans and comes back in and covers for a 2 count. Charlotte slams Bayley into her knee a few times and keeps a submission lock. Bayley tries to fight out, but Charlotte drops a leg over her chest for a 2 count. Charlotte steps on Bayley and goes up top for the moonsault. She follows it with a senton, but Bayley still kicks out at 2. Charlotte keeps yelling about how Bayley is just a fan. Bayley tries to fight back, but Charlotte drops her with a big chop. Couple of chops. Bayley with a clothesline out of the corner. Bayley with knees to the gut now, and Bayley nails some chops of her own. Bayley makes a comeback and tosses Charlotte to the apron. Bayley then drops Charlotte over the second rope. Bayley with a shoulder in the corner and an uppercut. Bayley with a belly to back suplex and a 2 count. Bayley keeps control and gets Charlotte turned upside down in the corner for the tree of woe. Bayley stomps and pounds on her. Bayley struggles a bit, but drops 2 elbows. Bayley goes back up top, but Charlotte rolls to the apron. More back and forth on the apron. Charlotte ends up on top. Bayley climbs up top and nails a Hurricane Rana. Bayley goes back to the top with a big elbow drop and a close 2 count. Charlotte ends up sending Bayley to the floor. Bayley makes it back in, but Charlotte nails a natural selection for a 2 count. Bayley avoids figure 4, figure 8, and sends Charlotte out. Charlotte ends up launching Bayley from the apron to the floor. Charlotte is back on top when Sasha Banks runs down. Charlotte takes her out, but this allows Bayley to hit the Bayley to belly on the floor. After the distraction, Bayley rolls Charlotte back in. Coleslaw wonders if Bayley even saw Sasha. Charlotte rolls Bayley up with a small package and it looks to get the win, but Sasha screams at the referee about Charlotte's handful of tights. This leads to Bayley hitting the Bayley to belly for the win. After the match, Bayley gets her title as we go to replays. Bayley celebrates her title and thanks Sasha as we go to break. We get a plug for tonight's Raw Talk and Monday's Raw. Announcers lead us to a video package for tonight's main event. Universal title match, Bill Goldberg versus Kevin Owens. We return to the arena and the Goldberg chant started up from the crowd. The camera goes backstage as security leads Bill Goldberg out of his locker room, just like he did in WCW. Goldberg made his way out as the pyro hits. Goldberg waits as the music hits, and out comes Universal Champion Kevin Owens. JoJo does formal ring introduction. Goldberg warns Owens that the title is about to be his. The referee goes to ring the bell, but Owens goes to the floor to play mind game. Owens continues to stall and play mind games as Goldberg waits to fight. Owens comes in again, but rolls right to the floor. Owens just walks around the ring and Goldberg stares him down. Some fans are booing. Owens enters the ring and calls for the bell. As soon as he does, Chris Jericho's music hits and distracts him. Goldberg nails a spear and then picks him up for the jackhammer, and we have new Universal Champion in Bill Goldberg, as I predicted. With that kind of interference, as Jericho just waits and poses on the stage. After the bell, Goldberg grabbed the title and raises it to the fans as they chant his name. Jericho looks back from the stage. Goldberg raises the title to the crowd as we go to replays. Goldberg then goes to ringside to greet some fans, including one who may be his son. Fastlane goes off the air with Goldberg holding the title. That concludes my Fastlane results for this month. Pay-per-view before WrestleMania. Thanks again. Peace out. See you on the If you don't know, just call me, brothers and sisters.